Vice President Kamala Harris choosing Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is her running mate for this upcoming election here, really energizing the political race even more here for the White House over the last few weeks. Fox 9's Paul Bloom joining us live in the newsroom with more on this selection and certainly more of the reaction to it. Paul.
Yeah, Rob, good morning to you. There are going to be lots of attacks directed at Governor Walz for his leadership in the aftermath of George Floyd. Of course, we already heard it today from the Republican vice presidential hopeful, J.D. Vance, on his aircraft earlier. Minneapolis burning for several days before the National Guard was finally deployed in 2020. Many, of course, blaming Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey at the time for their leadership in those dark, dark days. Remember, at the height of the pandemic, local Democrats now coming to the defense of Governor Walz, and that includes our Attorney General Keith Ellison. In the last hour or so, I spoke to the Attorney General by phone. He's currently out of town, but I asked him flat out about Walz's leadership at the biggest moment of Walz's career when protests exploded on the streets of Minneapolis.
Derek Chauvin is the one who caused the civil disturbance because he murdered George Floyd. Other people will try to lay blame in all kinds of directions, but he stepped up. He ordered the National Guard. The National Guard restored order, and as AG, I think he did an excellent job. So I'm very proud and pleased with the work that he did. That's one of the reasons he's a very smart pick, because he has tremendous upside, and and like he is an authentic, genuine human being, and people are going to just relate to him, and because he's a real guy. He is a dad. He is a coach. He's monitored the lunchroom, at the high school he taught at.
I mean, he's monitored the lunchroom at a high school, public high school. Can't imagine that, but certainly might set him up for some success in Washington, D.C. should the election fall that way, potentially. Correct, Rob? Who knows? But as we talk about here, Keith Ellison and Governor Walz actually came to politics around the same time. They both ran for Congress 18 years ago in the same cycle, coming through the whole Camp Wellstone, if you will, at the time, the DFL effort to put Democrats in office in the aftermath of Paul Wellstone's rise to prominence, and then, of course, his tragic death. They are friends. He now believes that Kamala Harris has made a great decision in choosing Tim Walz, that he's relatable, he's father-like, he's had the experience. He really singled out Governor Walz's work as a leader within the National Guard. He's a veteran that can be sent to Washington, D.C. So Keith Ellison excited about this. Obviously, Democrats, again, are going to have to defend him on his leadership in the state, particularly as it relates to Minneapolis at the height of the George Floyd murder and the subsequent protests, Rob. But you heard there from Keith Ellison on the road that Keith Ellison has his back and believes Walz did everything he could, putting all the blame for what happened over those dark, dark days at the feet of Derek Chauvin.
Yeah, and that's certainly going to be a big part of the campaigns here and the conversation here going forward. Former President Trump brought that up at his rally in St. Cloud a week and a half ago. So you know that that's going to continue to be a big focus of maybe attacks, of explanations on both sides here.
And then, of course, a tweet from Kamala Harris talking about perhaps if you had some money to donate to the Minnesota Freedom Fund, the protesters that were being picked up off the streets of Minneapolis at that time. This storyline kind of puts Minneapolis at the forefront of those attacks going forward. So it'll be fascinating to watch. But Keith Ellison says you can send Tim Walz down to the border in Arizona. You can send him to Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, and that voters will relate to him. And we'll just have to see. Of course, this first campaign rally coming up tonight in Philadelphia, right in the backyard of the governor of Pennsylvania, who she decided not to go with, Governor Shapiro. So it'll all be interesting to watch play out in the coming days.
All right. Thank you, Paul Bloom, live in the newsroom.